What's up, everybody? It's Ego Leech, and tonight for Road to the Storm, we're going to be taking a jog down Dwarf Lane with everybody's favorite tiny little man, Muradin Bronzebeard. Muradin is a tank that I have a lot of experience with. It's going to be pretty interesting to try him out talent gated, as a lot of the obvious builds are kind of locked out for him at this low level. But we're going to see what happens and see if we can carry our team to victory with this small, bearded hunk of dwarven love. Anyway, we'll talk after we get started.
Prepare yourselves for battle, heroes.
Alright, everybody, we're zoning in on Battlefield of Eternity. Level 1, kind of ugly choices at this level, so I'm just going to be picking up block. Typically, based on comp, I would take Perfect Storm or Reverberation, but hey, that's what the series is all about. Doing the best with what we have. The friendly team is Jaina, Raynor, Nazebo, myself as Muradin, and Sylvanas versus the enemy team of Thrall, Muradin, Jaina, Raynor, and Zagara. So in this case, block isn't too bad a choice, since I'm going to be contending with both Raynor and Thrall, who are pretty solid auto attackers, but even then, I would typically want Reverberation in order to protect our squishies, which, after you see our team comp, you can determine is pretty much all of our team. Got a very aggressive early play on the part of our Jaina, but she is not going to be punished for it. This is going to be interesting to see how this plays out. The enemy Zagara is offering a lot of map control for the enemy team, so one of my early priorities is just going to be trying to eliminate her creep whenever possible, whenever I can do it safely, and apart from that, just kind of offer as much protection as we can. Muradin is a character who I think has gotten kind of a bad rap over time, with the introduction of characters like Johanna and Leoric, who are the very obvious. Ooh, our Sylvanas in just the worst spot imaginable, getting a little bit out of position with her haunting wave, so I'm just going to stand in there and body block for the friendly Jaina. As I was saying, though, Muradin, a character who I feel has gotten kind of a bad rap with the introduction of some of the stronger tanks in the game. A lot of people think of Muradin as kind of an also-ran choice. If you can't get Leoric or Johanna, Muradin's the one you go with. But honestly, there's a lot of situations where, as far as comp goes, I would definitely like to have Muradin, especially if you're stacking stuns with characters like the Butcher or Tyrande. He can be really formidable with just his basic kit. So we have Immortals popping in 5 seconds. Our Jaina is very low on mana. She really needs to back before we begin this phase. And based on the positioning of these Immortals, it's looking like we're just going to want to defend first, because they're going to have to come into us. Ooh, Jaina getting caught out. I probably shouldn't have gone too far ahead, but she probably shouldn't have been sitting around there on her own either. I'm just going to walk in here, periodically Stormbolt to whatever degree I can. I'm going to ping for my team to assist me, because it seems like they're not going to leave the lane. Please don't do that. I wonder if he was talking about me saying assisting. No, apparently something with the friendly Nazebo. I'm doing what I can, but for some reason, the friendly team will not assist me in defending this Immortal, which is a very promising opening to this game. We have a laner and a Nazebo talking in very vague terms about something. It looks like the friendly team is just going to attempt to burn down this Immortal. We're not going to get it, but at this point, if that's what they're going to commit to, I'm just going to get in here and do as much damage as I can to lower the shield of the enemy Immortal when it spawns. So this isn't going to be a real big deal. Only a 2,000 hit point shield. Not a problem, and it is going to be heading to the bot lane. In a lot of cases, I would take third win, but being that this is Battlefield of Eternity, I'm actually going to pick up Sledgehammer, because it's amazing how much utility Sledgehammer has when it comes to burning down those Immortals, which, for the purpose of this game, or the purpose of this map rather, count as minions when it comes to the 300% damage increase. If I can get a clean shot on that Immortal, I'll demonstrate it. As you can see, 320 damage right there, just based off my basic skills, which is a really good chunk of damage to be laying down on an Immortal, especially when you're trying to get one during the actual objective phase. As you can see, the enemy Immortal not doing a whole lot of damage. The enemy team wasn't really focused on the push, but even if they were, just wasn't a tremendous amount. Let's see if we can catch out the enemy Thrall here, and yes, we can get that kill. My team doing a very good job advancing on my stun, but we need to be careful here because it's surprising how much damage that Zagara can put out if we leave her alone. Looks like we're stacked in this lane, and Zebo is contending with the Rainer up here, so I'm actually going to go up there and assist him to see if I can help Nazebo push back that Rainer and hopefully get a little bit of pushing done. Despite losing that Immortal, we're pretty much even when it comes to experience, which is a good thing. I'm going to periodically go in here and just chuck out my 300% damage Stormbolts, or at least I would if my wireless keyboard wasn't deciding to act up on me at the moment. There we are. Now it's actually responding to my commands. Good job. Or no, it's not. Well, this is going to be real interesting if I get that substantial delay on all my skill shots. Here we go. As you can see, 400 damage right on that tower. You can actually get a lot done with that. I'm just going to Dwarf Toss out of there to avoid Thrall's Wolf, or whatever it's called. I always forget the name. We have Bruisers pushing in. I'm going to ping for assistance just to see if we can get some up here to assist us with this little mini push that's going on. But it's looking like the enemy team is really relying on their minions to do a lot of the work. Here at level 7, I'm going to pick up Piercing Bolt, which I just feel is a lot more useful than landing momentum for a character like me, especially when we're trying to clear minions like this. I'm in a little bit of a pickle. Nazebo, of course, is pinging for help, and the friendly team just doesn't seem to be real aware of the kind of... They're not paying a lot of attention to the mini-map. They're just not really focusing. Now I'm in a situation where I can rely on my second wind to get me back to full health. It's not ideal, but I'm going to come in here, see if I can help out. Will I be able to get the kill? Yes, I will be able to get the kill on the enemy Rainer, so that's a 1-for-1. Someone manages to pick up the kill on the enemy Zagara. I'm surprised how well that's going. But I'm still not in a great position as far as health goes. We have the friendly Jaina working on... Oh, let's see if I can just push back this Thrall. Terrible Stormbolt on my part. I have dishonored my family, and I will need a second to help me with my seppuku later. It looks like the friendly Jaina, however, is going to take a death. I'm not sure. No, I am too low on mana to be able to do anything, really. So I'm going to back and just tell my allies that I'm backing. Not that I think they're paying a tremendous amount of attention to what's going on in this game. So I'm just going to wait for my mana to regen. Early game, up until about level 13, I'd say, Muradin tends to hurt for mana, especially if you're spamming Stormbolts, like I tend to when I'm playing the character. Okay. Enemy Thrall is looking pretty low there. I'm going to see if I can just sneak around, get a pick. Oh, but amazing zombie wall there by the friendly Nazebo. And it looks like the enemy Thrall just decided to tank all that. So even though I missed my beautiful Stormbolt opportunity, we still managed to pick up 2 kills, putting us in a great situation. I'm going to Dwarf Toss away from the stun on the part of the enemy Immortal. And it's looking like we're going to probably be able to just clean this up without too much trouble. Oh, wow. I'm guessing that was a... Is that a Thunder Strike? Is that even available at this level? No. It was just a Thunder Burn. So, we're going to see if I can body block, and I do not know what is going on with my mouse or my keyboard right now, but I am just missing these Stormbolts left and right. Commentating while playing, a little more difficult than you'd think, kids. Anyway, gonna move over to the defense here. Just kind of see what I can get done. We've got the enemy Thrall advancing. Nope, don't manage to get that, a little bit too far away. But enemy friendly Jaina with a very curious Blizzard placement there. I guess she didn't expect me to body block there. So at level 10, invariably, I'm going to be taking Avatar. I'm just going to jump in, throw out my Avatar, and just see what work I can get done, which is unfortunately not a whole lot because I didn't imagine that I was going to immediately get comboed down by the enemy Jaina. There's just egg and pubic hair all over my face, boys and girls. I am pretty ashamed of what happened there. Let's see if the friendly Nazebo will be able to... Nope, not going to be able to pick up the death on the... Or, excuse me, the kill on the enemy Rainer. The enemy Muradin deciding to pick up Haymaker, which was a surprisingly good disengage tool there until the point when he died. But I'm going to roll back in here and just see if we can get something done. The enemy Thrall just having a fascinating kind of tanking logic. And, oh, nope. Let's see if we can get in here, do some work. Yes, we can. I'm going to get Maud, but it's not going to matter. We managed to kill the Zagara in time anyway. But now we're going to move in. I'm going to ping for our team to just focus and try and take down this enemy immortal. As you can see, my Stormbolt's doing 600 damage per go on the immortal as we're trying to work it down, which is actually just a really great advantage on this specific map. Sledgehammer is not a choice that I typically take, unless I also have the opportunity to get Perfect Storm, which will passively increase my Stormbolt damage over the course of the game. But in this specific situation, it's just too good an opportunity to pass up. Just gonna keep throwing out these Stormbolts, just getting whatever stuns that I can to try and do some work. Our Immortal is actually doing a lot of good here. So now's about the time that I'm gonna pop in, throw down Avatar, and just start occupying these guys so that my Immortal can do the work that it needs to. I am taking a lot of damage, unfortunately. Without a support, things can get pretty tricky for me, but it looks like I'm going to be able to get out and survive just by the skin of my teeth there, and I am going to back for health. Level 13, I'm going to be taking Burning Rage. Healing Static, given that we don't have a support, is not an illogical choice necessarily, but frankly, it just doesn't provide consistent or substantial enough healing for me to feel that it's really viable in any situation. So I'm just going to take Burning Rage to add a little bit more damage when I'm going into Avatar and just diving into the middle of the enemy team. Our Immortal did some pretty good work there, managed to take down the enemy Tier 1 structures in the top lane, and I am experiencing a lot of lag. I'm guessing we are on US 10. Yes, we are. The most wonderful server I've ever experienced in this game. Makes me miss Ord 1 sometimes. So, we're just going to pick up this Bruiser camp, and I'm going to ping for us to go for this lower siege camp, because, I don't know, I'm intuiting that the enemy team is going to be attempting to do the top Merc camp. I'm going to wait for him to use his Dwarf Toss before I attempt to get in here with my Stormbolt. There we go, we're going to pick that up. Oh, wow! That Haymaker just putting Sylvanas in the worst place imaginable. And I'm going to see if I can just slip in here and pick up the kill on this. Oh my god. If I just did a push-up for every time I miss a Stormbolt this game, that would be a bodybuilder in no time. Gonna come in here. Let's see if we can take out the enemy Muradin. Yes, we can. I'm rooted by the Ring of Frost, but that's probably not going to be a big problem for me. We do manage to take out the enemy Jaina, who for some reason decides to pursue us rather than just pulling off. Gonna come in here and... okay, that time missing the Stormbolt wasn't my fault. That was actually Rainer's Q that pushed him away from the path. I'm gonna go up here and just deal with this Bruiser push we have top before I start moving in on the enemy Immortal. No reason to just lose a fort if we can stop it. Gonna use my Sledgehammer Stormbolt to soften things up. And I'm a little bit low on mana, but I'm just gonna move in and start attacking this thing right here. So, if you don't know this, I think this is common knowledge, but not a lot of people talk about it. When you're first approaching the Immortal, if you are a melee character and you get in melee range, it will automatically, reflexively do the circular AoE stun as its first move. So, as soon as you walk in as a melee character trying to work down the Immortal, first thing you want to do is pull back. The enemy Zagara attempting to maw her own thrall, apparently. It's looking like our Jaina might be getting punished, but nope. We managed to take out the enemy Muradin as well. I'm going to take heavy impact at this level just to get another stun onto the field. I mean, why not? I'm going to ping for our friendly Jaina to retreat, because all it's going to take is one bad stun from that Immortal to kill her, and from what we've seen so far, she hasn't been great at avoiding those. And it's looking like we are going to easily clinch this Immortal. Now, again, pretty low on mana. I'm just going to come in here and grab my sippy cup real quick before we continue this push. I wasn't paying attention, so it appears that we got down the top fort, the bottom fort, which is not where our Immortal was pushing last time, so I'm guessing it was just a minion wave, or maybe the Bruisers that we had that did that for us. We have a talent advantage right now, so pressing for some sort of engagement is probably a really good move. We're just going to let the enemy team poke out and waste some of their mana before I jump in here. I don't want to fully engage with Avatar until I feel like I'm in the perfect position to do it, and so I'm just going to start stunning out the enemy Muradin. Right here, I'm in the middle of the Ring of Frost, so that's not going to do anything to me. And the enemy Jaina is going to fall as well. Didn't even need to throw out that Storm Bolt. Now I'm just going to start working in here and doing some damage with my Avatar. I can just soak an enormous amount of damage right here, so I'm not worried about the enemy Rainer plinking me like this. I'm just going to use my Storm Bolt to help wither down that keep a little bit. And it seems like a pretty good idea to just go for core right now. A little bit daring with how low the death timers are right now, but hey, why not? Going to get caught in Zagara's Maw, but it's looking like there's very little that the enemy team is going to be able to do. And if nothing crazy happens, yes, this is going to be GG for the friendly team. Sub 15-minute game, and overall, I think that went pretty well. As we can see on the minimap, the enemy Thrall attempting to solo split push top lane as we were pushing into the enemy base. Not sure what he was planning, but remarkably similar to what happened in the last Battlefield of Eternity game we played a few days ago, where there was an enemy Kael'thas attempting to split push as we cored him. So let's take a look at the stats real quick. Me soaking 31,000 damage, nothing too impressive, but the enemy Muradin was taking about 10,000 more and sustained 5 deaths to my 1, so I'm comfortable saying that I am the more powerful and more firmly bearded dwarf on our team, or on either team for that matter. Nothing real special to note right here. The Thrall, as you can see over and over again, was really the weak point on their team. Taking 7 deaths, just constantly attempting to trade with characters like Rainer or Jaina. I can understand that impulse because of Frostwolf Resilience. Thrall's a character that rewards getting into and staying in an engagement, but with his case where he was going off alone and really not having his Muradin around most of the time to tank for him, that was really a misstep on his part. As you can see, my build is kind of wonky. Block, we took the Sledgehammer. It's actually 400%, not 300, to minion structures and mercenaries. My mistake. Just to deal with the Immortals and help give us that little bit of edge when we're trying to burn those Immortals down. Piercing Bolt is something that I take basically any build I go with Muradin. I think that the power of that in a team fight, especially when you're not team fighting in lane, just to be able to get double the stun off for the same mana and cooldown cost is just irreplaceable. I don't think there's anything that competes with it at level 7. Avatar, always solid choice. Burning Rage, not typically what I would take, but it seemed to do its job relatively effectively this game. Heavy Impact, not something I would typically take, but the best option at the moment. And at level 20, we would have been forced to take the upgraded Avatar. Typically what I take is Rewind, just to double down on Stormbolt, and if we need a fast disengage, double down on Dwarf Toss. So, pretty straightforward game. If you like this content and you want to see more sick jumping dwarf action with lots of missed Stormbolts, feel free to like, comment, or subscribe to the channel if you want to see more content like this, and let me know what you would like to see in the future. Until then, take care.